Good morning, Chairman Pashong and board members. We love doing these presentations where we take a slow moment. We have 3,000 employees, a little more than that in our employ here at the County of San Luis Obispo, and many of them are just like Liz, who we honored today, who like to stay in the background but do amazing work. And that is the quest of the slow moment, to pay tribute to some of them who just rise to the occasion of their roles as public servants. If I say the name Kristin Smart, you guys would all probably remember that name. She was the victim of a horrible crime nearly 26 years ago, and frankly, maybe some failures and stumbles of we as a community in the early days following her disappearance. It's a heavy lift to prosecute a case more than a quarter century later, but we have some great prosecutors and investigators that made that happen, but we also have some behind-the-scenes employees who were part of that heavy lift, and you probably never heard their name, so that's who we want to honor today in our slow moment. There are about 3,000 employees working for the County of San Luis Obispo, and among those, there are those who go above and beyond in their commitment to public service. Their exceptional work may not make headlines, but it is worthy of recognition. We want to take a slow moment to do so. In the high-profile murder case against Paul Flores, we saw some county employees making headlines daily and worldwide. Those on the front lines became almost familiar faces, but the prosecution team included some crucial behind-the-scenes support staff.
I am a legal clerk and a witness coordinator. I make all the flight arrangements. I reserve the hotels. This particular case, we subpoenaed like 99 people, and we actually put, I think, 55 people on the stand.
I'm a paralegal at the DA's office. So I was given the task of organizing and processing all the discovery, all the evidence for the case. There was over 1.5 terabytes of evidence that we had to sift through and organize and discover.
So I'm the victim advocate. We are the explainers of the criminal justice system, basically. We are, keeping them updated on the case, and we are, most importantly, informing them of their rights. You have to prepare them for what they're going to see in the reality. It's not like on TV, right?
These three women were the skeletal support for the heavy lift of prosecuting Paul Flores.
I had to issue all the subpoenas and communicate with all the witnesses.
Making sense of 26 years of evidence and 26 years of frustration and grief from those who knew and loved Kristin Smart.
And they knew how to guide us because we came in blind. We had no idea what the justice system entailed, and step by step, slowly but surely, they walked us through every step.
It was an unprecedented prosecution that came with unique challenges.
For example, when we were going to trial and the judge ruled there was 2 juries, I didn't even know that was a thing.
One trial, 2 defendants, 2 juries, a change of venue, gag orders, torrential rains and floods, and a pandemic. Just the headline hassles involved in this case.
Any trial has ups and downs. This particular trial, because of its length and its severity and its significance, just had them all.
We were on the top floor while their elevator was down for 3 weeks. So every time I would have to go do something, I would go down the 3 flights of stairs and then up to the court.
I had over 400 exhibits, and we had to have 2 versions of each of them, one for every jury.
So all the evidence, I had 6 boxes, and Chris grabbed one, I grabbed one. There were DA investigators with us, Clint Cole, and we had to schlep down the dolly.
There were so many wrinkles, and our staff had to cancel travel arrangements, renegotiate and get new travel arrangements, move people around. It was absolutely a Herculean task.
But these 3 rose to the occasion big time, taking a massive amount of data and details and making it all work for those involved.
It came up many times in court when Chris would text me, "When did we discover this?" And I would then look it up on our log and give him the packet number and when it was discovered. So it was critical in making sure that we were organized in that respect. especially Mr. Sanger would comment, we don't have that, prosecution hasn't provided that.
Sometimes things happen in court. Defense tries to throw you off.
Oh yeah, we got challenged a lot that it was something we hadn't provided, although we had, but it was up to me to prove it.
And they did it all 125 miles from home.
We had multiple fire alarms at 2 a.m. I was on the 3rd or the 4th floor of the hotel, and I think Beth was on the 10th. So she had to walk all the way down those stairs at 2 a.m.
I went up there late May, and I got home right after the verdict in October. Yeah, long time.
Each of us have families, and some of us had kids at various ages, kids who had summer camps, kids who were in school.
I came home on the weekends, so yeah, and worked on the weekends. And did the laundry and set everybody up, got them all together, and then Monday I would leave.
And while the case played out in Monterey County, all supported staff at home who were left shorthanded due to their absences.
I was still doing a certain amount of telecommuting back to San Luis Obispo.
So my days sometimes were 12-hour days.
Zero downtime. There was no downtime.
I was very busy. In addition to whatever he texted me, hey, I'm gonna need a copy of this. Hey, at lunch, we need to draft this. Hey, we're entering a stipulation, can you make copy? It was constant.
Yeah, there was lots of no lunch days. There was a few where you just grab the granola bar in the office kind of thing.
Because I was called upon to do something that I don't normally do. That's not written in my job description. I was a whirling dervish. While they were over there, I was working, feverishly to get everything done to make that day happen. And then at the end of that day, we would meet as a team to discuss the day and then what came next. And then we would jump right into the next day.
And when I got through it all and got home, I realized the level of stress. As you start to come down, you realize, oh, I was living at this kind of level.
And all while trying to keep the Smart family in the loop of what to expect daily and under the pressure of a gag order.
So it's some of that, managing that and the information flow was the hardest because we had to be careful to not create a mistrial. It is terrifying that you're like, okay, am I going to be the one that throws this down, right? And so that was kind of a terrifying place to be.
They knew how to keep the attorney's secrets, even when we begged for answers. But in the end, it was the right thing to do, and they were our guide. They guided the blind.
All the factors that came in, not wearing the color purple, for heaven's sake. That was, and the day that really blew up in court, I was standing there wearing a purple shirt. We had to kind of scrub everything for the color purple, which was a unique experience. I have a lot of purple. It's purple.
Through it all, they were a team and put that oath of public service into play big time.
Once it became a change of venue, they were like, well, you don't have to go if you can't or don't want to. So, but there was no way I was going to abandon them. I needed to go.
At any point, any time of the day, and that was kind of our rule as a team, whether it's 6 a.m. or 10 p.m. We ran the group chat and made sure we supported each other, professionally and personally.
I really wanted the family to have peace and closure in this. And I really wanted their faith to be restored in our community.
87A, murder in the first degree, to the maximum sentence that I can impose by law, an indeterminate term of 25 years to life.
I mean, I felt like the people could probably see my heart moving through my blouse because we were just so vested with all the time and the hours and being away from our families. I just was happy to be involved with finally getting to a point where we could see justice for, Kristin and her family.
It came together where we had the right people in the right positions to make it happen. If one of us didn't do our job, it was going to fall apart.
There is no amount of gratitude. It makes you feel almost guilty to know that people have had to sacrifice so much.
It's a little hyperbole, but you couldn't ask for a better team than Becky, Beth, and Eloiza. They're just simply the best at what they do. You take them out of the case, and the case would have been less effective.
It was very stressful, but it was an experience that I look back on through that whole thing and think, you know, we did it.
Anything you want to add?
No, but if they're listening to this, I miss all three of you very much and hope you're doing well.
So we will forgo reading the resolution because we basically says everything that was in the video, but I do want to call up Victim Witness Center Assistant Director Beth Raub, Paralegal Becky Cripe, and Witness Coordinator Eloiza Basinger, who worked long hours and helped bring this case to a successful conclusion. And if you guys have something you'd like to say, we'd like to hear from you, but I also, Denise Smart and Stan Smart and the family couldn't be here today, but they wanted me to look you in the eye and tell you how much they truly appreciate all three of you.
Microphone is yours if you'd like to say a few words.
Okay, I don't have anything planned to say, but I can't leave a microphone alone. So I just want to say thank you for this recognition and because of all the work we did as a team. And I just really want to say I appreciate these two ladies. There were so many times that we did, we'd go to the meeting after the day of trial with Chris at like 5, 6 o'clock, whatever, and then we'd go and have a girls' dinner or whatever and hang out. And it was wonderful to have their support and decompress with them. And I just really appreciate them and the whole team. And I just wish the Smarts the best. They're amazing and resilient. And I believe they do have their faith restored in our community for all we did. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thanks for the recognition and the honor, and it was a privilege to be on the team that was able to go and fight for that justice for Kristin and her family. And so thank you for today, and I'm thrilled to have been on the team and honored. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I also want to say thank you very much. What a privilege and an honor to work with this amazing team.